Ajalilade Rase Champions League Ek hada gas mein Hanguman kick pe Java naramenne Bhagi dulanne bhidi dasde goal ek gannai sit sarasenne samarok venne saddeta denne one heart. One game, one heart. Champions League. This is where we start. Together we dream, together we fight. We are the champions. Under the Champions League में one game, one heart. Champions League साधनाई आरामने दिव्यने जयगन्ने एक सीने डबियाने one game, one heart. Champions League where dreams take part. Raise your flags, feel the art. One game, one heart.
Sri Lanka Football Champions League, powered by TV Supreme.
Welcome to the Champions League Sri Lanka Football Super 8, second game of the competition. Saunders taking on Sri Lanka Police here at the Racecourse. Super Round Week 1. Super Round Week 1 match number 2, and it's going to be a very interesting one. There were some slight showers that did come down with those clouds that are hovering around the grounds. Still though, very, very humid here at the Racecourse. 75% humidity and a steady wind speed that is blowing across the ground. Going to be an interesting one because remember, both these teams have done very well in their initial round to make their way and book their place in this second round. Broadcasting channels for you, Sri Lanka Football, Facebook, and also the YouTube, and Supreme TV, the terrestrial partner, and the Papare worldwide OTT partner of the competition. Fixtures and results of Week 1. First game, Pelicans SC taking on Java Lane, which ended up with a draw. Both teams sharing a point each. Saunders will take on Police now in this encounter, with Serendipity taking on St. Mary's in tomorrow's first game with New Star taking on Solid in the evening encounter. Here's how the first round finished. In Group A, Saunders managed to top the points table with 14 points to their name. New Star in third, second, Serendib in third, and Javale in securing that last spot from Group A. Those are the four teams that managed this qualification for the second round. Crystal Palace, Negombo Youth, and Sri Lanka Transport Bureau have to battle it out in the relegation battle. The points table of Group B, Pelican SC topping that chart with 12 points alongside Police Sports Club, who lost that game to Pelicans but went on to secure 12 points. Solid SC also securing their qualification with 10 points. St. Mary's with 8, but Supersan, Moragasmul and Matara City Club, all three teams will be battling it out in that relegation battle. Going to be a very interesting one in this super round of 8, Super 8s rather, where each team will have 7 games against the oppositions, and the top 2 teams playing that one-off playoff, which will crown the champions and secure the promotion to the top league or the Super League. With the runners-up will have a playoff with the bottom-ranked team from the top league, where they will be vying to go one up. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back on the other side, we will have a live action. Welcome the teams of Saunders and Police. Welcome back to the live action as we take a look at the official GN Rubesh pick up the match day ball as the two teams walk out. Saunders, of course, in yellow, black, yellow, with Police in blue and white. Living football as we ready for this all-important game. The two teams with their customary high fives to the officials and the opposition. The two teams will pose for the official photograph before the commencement of the game. Sri Lanka police team with their skipper Malinga Hettiarachchi and Saunders skipper Indivara Udara. Saunders have really gotten a real boost with their two overseas players, Frank and Roger Felipe. Felipe has been in mercurial form for the Price Park team. The two skippers with the referees for the toss. Police winning the toss and opting to go for side. The match officials of the day, Jay and Rupesh, will be the man with the whistle, with LK Udayakanta and Nasala Sirivardhana as the assistant referees. TF Sudit will be the fourth official of the competition. The Saunders team card: Priyadarshan and Ali, Mufassal, Gimhan, Pereira, Indivara Udara. The skipper: Aziz, Mohammad Fauzan, Frank, Roger Felipe and Vimukti Madhuwanta, the goalkeeper for Saunders. As we look at the police team card: Hettiarachchi, Abdullah, Prabuddha, Sardin, Selvaraj, Samantha, Rivaldo, Amish, Hasika, Nishanta and Dinesh Mahendran. The goalkeeper Malinga Hettiarachchi, of course, will be the man with the captain's armband. Saunders will be coached by Shanta Siri, and with police coached by Mahinda Galagedara.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for. Let the countdown begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We have a ball game as Saunders kick off the proceedings. This is going to be very interesting because remember, Saunders managed to secure the most number of points out of both the groups with 14 points. Early through ball for police, and but the flag's up. Good counter from police, who are making sure that that threat is alive. Early foul on the police lad. Long ball just outside the box. Saunders defense caught to act. Cleared only as far as and here's the first goal. First goal of the day, Sri Lanka Police. And just like that, 1.5 minutes into the game, it's a goal for Police's Chalaka Nishanta. Oh, what a game against the runner play. Second minute, and they're up. Terrific stuff. Now it's getting a little physical. Referee wanting to interfere and will want to lay down the law. Calls in both the players, Priyadarshan from Saunders and the goal scorer Nishanta. As you see, the goal scorer as well. SM Priyadarshan getting a big telling to. We'll take a look at that replay. Sri Lanka Police with a big blow early in this game. Saunders now have to play catch up. Gimhan with a good run, and that's a desperate defensive work from Rivaldo. Saunders with an early free kick from a very dangerous position. Taking the free kick, Felipe puts it in. Well defended by Police. Getting it away from their danger zone, but what a start to this game. 1-0 up, just 2 minutes into the game. Here's Rivaldo being manhandled by Felipe. Abdullah, the goal scorer, Nishanta. Back to Nishanta, just inside the box. And that's going to be the first booking of the game. Priyadarshana was told in no uncertain terms by the referee just minutes ago that he needs to be careful making contact with the man. He is lucky because it was just outside the box. If it was slightly in, that could have been a penalty. And Priyadarshan earning that early yellow card can really put pressure on Saunders' defense. Beautiful through ball. And as we take a look at the replay, lovely little work, and Chalaka Nishanta with a brilliant finish, and that was a fabulous ball into the box by Hussein Abdullah. And celebrate they do, Sri Lanka Police. Another very good opportunity just outside the box. Police, for their troubles, will learn a corner, a trick play. Saunders have been under tremendous pressure. Interestingly though, because they were the much dominant side in those first rounds, like I mentioned, securing 14 points. Police, on the other hand, joint 5th place alongside their group mates Pelicans. Only managed 12 points, but this time skying it up, worried. Saunders under pressure. Goal in the 2nd minute. And now they have to play catch up. Sri Lanka Police have a little spring in their step. They will play with much more confidence and freedom. Skipper Indivara. Oh, beautiful through ball. Here's an opportunity. But very good intervention from Dinesh Mahendran, who had to make sure that he gets his hand on the ball. Felipe. Now Police on the counter. Both these teams have made sure that they book their place in this Super 8 competition, and it's a very interesting one, the format, because there is no points carried forward. So it's a clean sheet for everybody to start fresh from, despite where you finished in that first round. Saunders, of course, the table leaders with 14 points in Group A, and the team that collected the most points in that first round. Joining me in the com box is Mr. Deshan Gonavilla. Deshan.
Hello Sudarshana. Beautiful evening here in the heart of Colombo. And like you said, clean slate, and Saunders, despite doing it all, with it all to do once again. And that early goal really knocking their socks off. And if we've seen one thing this tournament is that when Police get it right, they have arguably the hardest defense to penetrate. So they've now got this lead. And Saunders in particular, quite a few changes to their lineup, the likes of Sundarraj Niresh. Not really in this starting lineup either. So they are aware of the threat, and Police with yet another effort. And what does that mean tactically over the course of this game, I think remains to be seen. A battle between the two of the bigger sides in this tournament now.
Absolutely, especially when you take the first game's result into consideration. Pelicans drawing that game. So that's going to be a very, very interesting one, how both teams will be hungry to try and get all points on offer. Very good intervention earlier by Dinesh Mahendran from Police. The goalkeeper had to do that. Pelicans drawing with Zawalain. Zawalain, who just managed to get their qualification into the second round. Madhuanta, the skipper now, Udara, finds no man. Most decorated club in the country, Saunders, has massive pedigree, having been incorporated in way back as 1920.
Absolutely, and it is rather disappointing, I mean, from both a Saunders fans' point of view and a football fans' point of view, to see them in the second division. But maybe a wake-up call that is necessary to wake up the sleeping giants of Sri Lanka football. They continue to have substantial cultural influence within the football scene here in Sri Lanka, as well as they now look to drive down the middle. Police SC with their defense clawing it back immediately, much to the dismay of Clois Frank.
Yes, talking about Saunders, 12 league titles and 16 FA Cups are not won with a bad side, but massive legacy, isn't it? However, what will be concerning for them is their last league win came in the 2004-05 season, with the last FA Cup coming in way back in 2001. So for the past 2 decades, they've really struggled. Here's the goal scorer, Nishanta Abdullah, who delivered that beautiful assist to Nishanta.
Hussein Abdullah trying to get it down the middle again, but no. Pushing now, moving forward, Roger Philippe. He's playing a slightly more settled role in the middle of the park and letting Clovis Frank go up the attack. But it's now Philippe and Frank. What a bit of movement there. Ball comes in. Beautiful touch. And that's very nearly the first goal for Saunders.
Oh, he knows it. He's frustrated. He knows it. But that was a very good enterprising play from Saunders. This is what their fans demand. Beautiful work by their two overseas talents. But here the turn really didn't connect. He knows. He knows. That should have been the equalizer.
Beautiful bit of movement there, Roger Philippe. We were just talking about how he's come into the midfield for this game. And he's really driving forward from that number 6.5, 8 position. The referee bringing the game back for that foul on Guyan Rivaldo. Saunders taking it quickly. The skipper moving it forward. And here's an opportunity now for Saunders. Pratham Gimhan puts the ball into the box. Testy for Dinesh Mahendran, but he's not going to make any mistakes with that one. He's been solid this tournament. Pratham Gimhan's cross doesn't quite catch it as well as he'd like either.
Good work by Mahendran, and Police, of course, one of those teams who haven't opted for overseas player in their ranks. They've done largely very well, Deshan. Like you mentioned, their defense, when they scored early, has been solid. So they will need to try and settle down, not bogged down, but settle down. And to make sure that they look for those counters, because Saunders are going to come all guns blazing. They will look to attack from all ends, and they might be vulnerable when it comes to the counter.
Absolutely, and I think that is where Police have shown really. That structural discipline that they've shown over the course of this tournament has been fantastic. And Saunders, again, despite picking up most of the points, there have been games where you walked away from them, Sudarshan, and kind of thought to yourself, could they have done more? Could they have been a bit more clinical? It's important that they get this going. Clovis Frank loses the ball in a tight space there, and now Sri Lanka Police moving it up the pitch. Indiva Udara trying to press, but a beautiful pass here, very nearly taking no chances. The Saunders goalkeeper, Guyan Rivaldo, Hussein Abdullah here now, sends the ball into the box. What an effort that was!
Oh well, that was close. Hussein Abdullah very nearly got his second assist. Beautiful ball from Chalaka Nishanta, the goal scorer. Oh, what a cross. Almost connected.
Chalaka Nishanta very nearly finding the back of the net. Gets something on it there, Sudarshana. Just not enough purchase, but fantastic work from Abdullah to see that pass as well, to be fair. Now Sri Lanka Police continue to push up. Hussein Abdullah looking for that 1-2. He gets it beautifully. Hussein Abdullah, space on the flank. Can he get the ball in? He has time for a touch. Sends the ball into the back. Very nearly. Indiva Udara taking no chances. The Saunders skipper gets rid of it.
Oh, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Sri Lanka Police. Oh, big smiles on the faces in the dugout, and why not when your team plays like that?
For that occasion, Guyan Rivaldo just taking a bit of a hit. He seems to be okay. Taking their time, Sri Lanka Police, and they can afford to do it. They might be thinking, Mahinda Kalagedara from that bench might be saying, let's get one more and really put this game to bed early doors.
They are going to be very interesting if Police gets another one, which will force Saunders to throw the kitchen sink. Here's a good ball, but cleared. Tries to connect the volley. Young fans coming in to support. Always nice to see. Seeing himself in the large screen.
Always had a reasonable turnout in the Saunders games over the course of this tournament. Just speaking about that supporter legacy as well, Sudarshan, and conceding a foul now. Saunders with the opportunity now to get it into the box. Once again, that combination between Clovis Frank and Roger Philippe resulting in that foul.
Well, one of the 4 legacy clubs of Sri Lanka, isn't it? A bunch of merry men who were playing barefoot football at Price Park, spearheaded by Richard Dyers, the founder of the club. And what a legacy they have, and they will want to make sure that they get back onto that top league where they rightfully belong. They would want to make sure that they try and turn the clock back as Indivara delivers into the box.
The ball shot straight back. Sri Lanka Police, can they turn defense into attack? And very suddenly Chalaka Nishanta has acres to run into, and also Shehan Prabhuddha, sorry, I beg your pardon, that's Samira Pereira for company. Samira Pereira sporting a different hairstyle today to his usual long locks. Clovis looks wide, finds Roger Philippe. Roger Philippe sends the ball into the box. Taking no chances, Sri Lanka Police. Possession turned over. Now, once again, a foot race for Chalaka Nishanta. Priyadarshana taking no chances, and Police now on the right end of the pitch, in their opinion.
Well, Nishanta, early years in this first half, has been a real threat up front in that left flank. Deshan, this is always the case, isn't it? When you get down to the second division, it's an abyss.
It's a bit of a scrap, yeah.
It's very difficult to get out of. Even if you are a fabulous team, you sometimes lose some of your top players because they want to try and play in the top league.
And not only that, I think also there is the element, indeed, of some of these clubs really being challenged by virtue of the depletion of resources as a result. And in addition also, the structure of this tournament certainly doesn't help if you are an informed second division team, because what it does is essentially zeroes the score so that you start again from scratch. So it's so important that you're not only good in one phase of the tournament but consistent over 2.
Absolutely. I think that's what makes this format very difficult as well, because you got to make sure that you keep bringing your A game, and the management of squads for the management teams are going to be very, very important as well. Hussein Abdullah, getting a little too easy for him to try and create space, Deshan. That's something Saunders defense will look to try and fix.
Yeah, definitely something for Shantasri to work on. Hussein Abdullah, he's picked up the ball in some dangerous areas a few times now, and he will feel that he can create a few more problems. And now Clovis Frank looks for him, but nothing doing. Once again picking up the ball, Sri Lanka Police. Gayan Rivaldo down the middle, working that beautifully. Hussein Abdullah once again on the right flank. He's looking for a pass. Right idea, the execution a little bit wanting. Samira Pereira, fantastically well done there to get him past the man. He thinks there was a bit of an impediment on him, but referee decides otherwise. Now Nabil Sardin, who at the start of this tournament wasn't really in Police's starting 11 and has managed to work himself up to be one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah, really fought himself into this outfit, and it was an easy outfit to fight into. Sardin and Police this time though not getting the connection right. Something Saunders will be worried about is, apart from the goal, The defender Priyadarshana getting into the referee's books in just the 5th minute of the game, which they will have at the back of their mind. Third minute of the game, and police really bossing it now. Nishanta yet again with possession, has lost it forward, not happy with himself. Police really putting their bodies on the line, and they are showing that urgency and the energy that is needed. They're not going to sit back and wait until Saunders come at them.
So now Indiva Udara, yet another opportunity to get the ball into the box and test that police ball. Shanta Siri, some instructions. Ball sent straight to Dinesh Mahendran. He's not gonna make a meal out of that one. He's got good enough hands, and I think one of the unfortunate hallmarks of this campaign, especially the first round of this particular tournament, Sudarshan, has been some very shocking goalkeeping, hasn't it? Some absolute howlers.
We've seen some absolute comedy by some of the glovemen.
And here's an opportunity now. Saunders picks it up in a dangerous area, loses it immediately, and Hussein Abdullah, the ball, Keem seems to be coming to him at every single opportunity. The referee bringing it back. Seems to be doing something right, Abdullah, and everything police have done that has been positive has more or less gone through him, hasn't it?
Yeah, he gets into very good spaces, Abdullah. Off your screen, Deshan, if you can take a look, he's still not being marked in this top right. As police drives it into the box, doesn't get the connection that they were looking for. But territorially, police have been absolutely fabulous in the attacking third.
Shahan Prabhuda not really convinced as to what was there in that. And based on, well, at least what I saw from here, he gets the ball, Shashan Prabhuda. The first one may be a bit of a hit. Shashan Prabhuda catches the ball cleanly. Ziad Mufazil makes a whole meal out of it, and referee rightfully not very interested in that series of events.
There was a slight drizzle just before the game started, but despite being very cloudy, it's very, very humid here. Prior to the game, looking at the weather, it was 75% humidity. Currently, it feels like it's close to 90.
Here's an opportunity now. Police back in the box. Chalaka Nishanta. Cross coming in. Cleared there by Nalim. Shot comes. Blocked by Indiva Udara. Police send it straight back offside, so Chalaka Nishanta doesn't test it. But fantastic work by police down the left flank. Ball comes in. Very nearly finds another teammate. And very, very intelligent play by Chalaka Nishanta. They are not to get involved. And at the same time, Iber and Selvaraj overlapping and very nearly finding a teammate.
Fabulous, fabulous work by Nishanta. And then this cross, timely intervention by Priyadarshana. Police have camped themselves in this half for almost the entirety of this first quarter of the game. Can see, as you saw, the frustration from Nalim. Throw by Amish. Here's Frank. Won back by Amish. Ball retention has been fairly poor by Saunders in this opening exchange opportunity, but off the mark. Philippe.
Not something you really see there from Philippe, and doesn't get the right connection. He's usually bang for the buck. Sorry, I beg your pardon, that was Clois Frank. Philippe playing in that midfield role, and well, based on the team sheet we've been given, Clovis Frank should be playing further down the pitch, but he's worked his way up and he's shown some industry there. Mohamed Fauzan rolls the ball out of play. Late challenge there. Unnecessary on the part of Pathum Gimhan. He was getting that foul and he continues to go at Ahmad Amish. And I think now Pathum Gimhan, what he has done is give the referee a decision to make with regard to his behavior as well. Arm on the neck, hand around the neck there, Sudarshana. So remains to be seen what the referee decides to do. He's got a yellow card in hand. And that is a yellow card for Pathum Gimhan, Sudarshana. But let me tell you, putting your hand on the opponent's neck, he's very, very lucky to still be on the pitch.
Well, they'll be delighted at the fact that he's gotten a card as delivery. Because what could have come, like you mentioned, is what the color of what a referee is wearing.
So the referee Robesh's decision potentially keeping Saunders in this game for a little longer as the ball comes in. Dinesh Mahendran, easy claim for him. But once again, Pathum Gimhan very lucky, in my opinion, to still be on the pitch.
Yeah, the outpour of anger couldn't keep tabs on that. Swan is Nishant at that time in an offside position.
Yeah, a good play by the Saunders defense, and Samira Pereira, you can see holding his line when looking at the referee on the near side here. The linesman, he knew exactly what he was doing. So fantastic football intelligence on display once again, and a little bit of a knock again. This time Shashank Prabuddha catching Sri Lanka police's catching Mohamed Fauzan from Saunders, and puts his hand up immediately and accepts his fault.
We are just in the 31st minute of the game. 4 bookings already. And another feature that we didn't want in this competition has been the red cards that have been dished out.
And now foot race here for Nishanta. Loses out Abdul Aziz. Samira Pereira back to Abdul Aziz. Indiva Udara gets it out. An opportunity now. Roger Philippe twisting and turning, finds Clovis Frank. They've been fantastic, the duo together. But Sri Lanka Police winning that foot race. And fantastic bit of defense once again by Dabar and Selvaraj, who's had a fantastic tournament so far.
Small correction, it's actually 5 bookings. Referee Rubesh. That's where the man in the 9 jersey, Pathum Gimhan, earned a yellow for his troubles. Yes, I'm of the opinion there could have been 2 red cards given at that point. Forgive man,
Yes.
Saunders, but with some life to breathe still.
No, you are right. I think Stud showing in that challenge as well. And still going at it. Sri Lanka Police, fantastic bit of work, speculative effort. And I know it's not their number 1 choice in goal, but I think Vimukti Madhuanta will have no problem dealing with those. Now, Roger Philippe, Clovis Frank. Takes a bit of a tumble, but referee plays on. Saunders, shot from distance. Catches Dinesh Mahendran off guard. Beautiful bit of work.
Good work by Mufassal that time, taking that shot. This is what Saunders need to try and get some momentum, because for these 34 minutes, largely momentum has been against them. Sri Lanka Police, on the other hand, have done everything right so far, except for that studs up challenge, which could have gone horribly wrong for both the teams.
So 10 minutes left in this first half for Saunders to try and change the conversation at the halftime interval. Ball coming in, Dinesh Mahendran making no mistake there once again.
Well, up top, Saunders have looked to try and attack from range, and that is a testament to how well Police have defended close to their box, Deshan. They've struggled to try and pierce as Priyadarshana looks to
Fantastic
create
defensive
something.
work there yet again, isn't it? But Saunders pushing through. Now Clovis Frank. Clovis Frank, can he get a shot away? Finds support, Clovis Frank finds a pass. Roger Philippe takes the shot, Dinesh Mahendran. What a save, and Malika Hettiarachi gets rid of it.
Yeah, had to be done. Dinesh Mahendran yet again showcasing that he's one of the better keepers in the competition. But that's brilliant from Saunders. They need a little bit more of that. They'll want to go into lemons with an equalizer. 10 minutes to go in the regular time. But Clovis Frank, despite being denominated as a defensive player, has definitely been so much higher on the pitch.
Yeah, he's been leading the attack so far today, and he's been very effective together with Roger Philippe. And at times it's almost looked like it's the two of them versus the Police defense. Dinesh Mahendran happy to take his time. Rightfully so.
After the abrupt break where the overseas players were allowed in this competition, Saunders have really come out with force, isn't it? In the opening weeks they did struggle a little bit, but then with the addition of the overseas talents, they've rallied around them, and these two, Clovis Frank and Roger Philippe, has been fabulous. Frank yet again, Philippe, and he gets the goal! That's the equalizer. Clovis Frank creates, and Philippe finishes it off. 1-1 all scrap here at the Racecourse.
We saw it coming down that flank. And a bit of international flavor down that right flank, opening the Police defense up. And in the first clear-cut chance, really, that has presented itself for the duo. Roger Philippe making no mistake and slotting it past Dinesh Mahendran. Dinesh Mahendran had no chance.
That would have given Saunders all the confidence that they needed. Price Park boys will want to make sure that they try and double this one up. Police, on the other hand, they've lost the cushion that they had. Sardine met with some hostility. Saunders have had some fans that have come down. Roger Felipe, the man who got the score. Sardine earning a corner for his troubles.
Well, now the conversations that these coaches would have had prepared in their head for the halftime interval that's coming up in about 5 minutes has changed substantially. And Saunders, with the last few movements in particular, the last 5-10 minutes, have looked like the better side, haven't they?
Yeah, momentum is a very funny thing, isn't it? Once it comes on to your side, you need to try and grasp it, and it has been harnessed by Frank and Felipe, who have done absolutely well.
And a very poor corner there by Sri Lanka police. Not very happy about it, the coaching staff. And Mahinda Galagedara in particular, not very pleased. In the Udara. Samira Pereira. Roger Philippe tries to be cheeky. Ball just bounces up a little bit too much. And on that occasion, just an apologetic hand up there by Guy and Rivaldo. And here's another look at that goal. Beautiful pass for Clovis Frank, and from Clovis Frank rather, and the composure Roger Philippe showed as he was being hounded down by two defenders really was fantastic.
This is going to be interesting to see how much time elapsed since we commented on how Dinesh Mahendran was one of the better goalkeepers, because I tell you, after all these years, commentator exercise is absolutely real.
Absolutely. Although, admittedly, nothing he could have done about it, but just a bit of a clash there, and referee going to check on Fazal by the looks of it. No, that was Pathum Gimhan who takes a knock, but nothing much in it. And now Clovis Frank still up there. Malinga Hettiaraj taking him on. Sri Lanka police win the ball back. Shashan Prabuddha trying to find spaces. Nabil Sardine very nearly. Shashan Prabuddha still manages to hold on to it, rolls it over. Here's an opportunity and the shot comes in very nearly. And for a second there, Damit Samantha thought he had made it 2-1.
Talaga Nishanta was live as well on this back post. Samantha, beautiful ball, and look at that. Very nearly. Nishanta, I think, was waiting for the ricochet off the woodwork, which never came, but 1-1 still. 42nd minute of the game. Just a couple of minutes to go in regular time. This has been a fabulous affair.
Yeah, really entertaining stuff here at the Racecourse International Stadium, and what a game to have on a Friday evening. Decent crowd turnout as well, and the football has been fantastic viewing. Dinesh Mahendran boots the ball up the pitch.
Saunders now playing with much more vigor than they did in the opening quarter. Priyadarshan still with them. Twisting and turning was Aziz. Fauzan. Indivara. But didn't get the touch he looked for. Mufassal. This is appreciated though.
I think as we slowly but surely roll in towards the halftime interval, Sudarshana, with still a bit to play for. I think both teams will feel they've done well, but equally will feel they could have done a little better. It's been one of those halves. Sri Lanka Police, of course, started the game with a plump. Shashank Prabuddha on a yellow card, needs to be careful. Just trying to find the ball, but really plows through the player in the process. But like I said, Shashank Prabuddha key to this. But what we were talking about earlier, Sudarshana, was, you know, both teams will feel they've done well, equally that they should have done better, and Saunders might just do that. Here's an opportunity, what an effort, but just doesn't wrap his foot around it enough, Clovis Frank. And what I meant by that, Sudarshana, was Sri Lanka Police starting really well, fading out a little bit, and Saunders really coming into it. So it's been one of those halves, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think for Police, they will hope that the halftime whistle cannot come sooner. We haven't had much interruptions, so will be interesting to see how much of added time will be called. Endeavour, skipper Pereira. 2 minutes of minimum added time in this first half as
Just a bit
Saunders.
unlucky there for Saunders, isn't it? Ball rolling out of play, but nice little movements.
Yeah, the movements have been good, very good from Saunders in this second quarter of the game. They've done well to make sure Endeavour now.
Endeavour does fantastically well. Ball kept. Here's an opportunity now. Roger Philippe looking for a pass, looking for support. Spreads the ball out wide. Nalim. Patum finds the ball. Nice little 1-2 play, and very nearly finding the ball. Roger Philippe gives it away. Now Malinga Hettiarachi, can he orchestrate the break? And that first touch, not quite good enough, but second touch is Shashank Prabuddha helping out. There he is. Picks the ball up, gets a knock for his efforts, and now can Police bring this one back? Here's an opportunity for Sri Lanka Police. And the shot comes off the post, and the ricochet very nearly. And how has that stayed out?
Oh well, everything happening. How did that stay out? Oh well. Let's take another look at that. Fabulous work by Abdullah. Yet again, the chief wrecker went in, hits the woodwork, and off. Mohammad Fauzan will be thanking his lucky stars that Vimukti Madhwanta managed to get that under control. Another look at that. Police wouldn't want to take a look at that. No would Saunders. Oh, felt like it was pinball.
I think that describes it best. Mind the Kalagedara. Edge of your seat stuff here at the Racecourse Stadium as we complete the minimum required added time period. That's your half-time interval here at the Racecourse International Stadium. Things started off with a blom. Police scoring in the second minute. Saunders growing back into this one and taking a well-worked goal through Roger Philippe. And just as we started, we thought for a second that we were going to end this half with a goal in the final kick of the half. But somehow, the ball has stayed out of the net and very much in Vimukti Madhuwanta's hands. So we'll shortly bring to you the confirmation that come half-time here at the Racecourse International Stadium in this second stage of the Sri Lanka Champions League, it's Sri Lanka Police 1, Saunders SC 1.
Half-time confirmation, 1-1. Saunders securing the equalizer on the 37th minute for Police's opening goal on the second. Brilliant crowd here at Racecourse for the men in yellow. As we take a look at the highlights of the first half, it was Hussein Abdullah who created that goal. Brilliant ball into the box. Chalaka Nishanta, the only complies. He's been a threat up right all game for the Cops. The second minute, then Nishanta rush foul just outside the box. Priyadarshana earning yellow card for his troubles. Opportunity for Pathum Gimhan, but these two men, Clovis Frank and Roger Philippe, has been the architects of most of the attacks for Saunders. Ziad Mufassal didn't get the connection right. Abdullah yet again. Chalaka Nishanta could have scored a brace. Clovis Frank not getting the connection right for Saunders, but yes, where two yellow cards were awarded. Could have been a different color, but for the sake of the game, we are delighted that it was just a booking. 5 bookings in the game. Sishan Prabhuda, and this is the equalizer. Beg your pardon, there was an opportunity, but here's the equalizer. Absolute fantastic work by Frank with Philippe getting the goal. Brilliant, isn't it? To go celebrate with your loyal fans. There was another opportunity for Police, who kept asking questions, but this man, Hussein Abdullah, has been fabulous. One of the marquee players for the Cops, and then pinball ensued. Well, that's the highlights of the first half. We'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will have the action of the second.
चल दे से Champions League एक हाथ गैस में हैंगमैन किक पे जावे नरमने भाग दुलने भीदी दसते गोल एक गन्नाई सिट सरसने समरोपने साथ देने one heart. One game, one heart. Champions League. This is where we start. Together we dream, together we fight. We are the champions. Under the the lights are shining, the crowd will roll. This is the moment we waited for. The passion's rising, the call is clear. The Champions League is finally one game, one heart. Champions League. This is where we start. Together we dream, together we fight. We are the champions. We play for love, pride and pain. For every child who dreams again. No borders here, no fear, no end. Just one dream that we defend. மரங்கள் கிக்க ஆகாமே களத்தில் உறுதியாய் மின்னவும் நாமே நாமே Champions League வரவே உணர்வதற்கு தருமே Cheer kai kar maktenne kollo set kama ek venne goal ekata kick ek denne Champions League mein aramenne one game one heart Champions League satanai aramenne dibi denne jaya ganne ek sinata apiyanne one game one heart Champions League where dreams take part raise your flags feel the art football one game one heart hey one dream one star hey one game one heart Champions League forever we play the spirit of football leads the way.
Sri Lanka Football Champions League. Powered by TV Supreme.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Racecourse International Stadium here in Colombo in this Champions League second round encounter between Sri Lanka Police and Saunders SC in what has been a topsy-turvy, up and down game, end-to-end stuff so far. Sri Lanka Police now in the second half in their blue strips with the white shorts, playing from right to left of your screens, while Saunders in their traditional Eurostrip playing from left to right, and very early doors seems like they want to take their attacking foot off, very much on the gas rather, and winning an early foul. Clovis Frank taking a knock. Now, Saunders with an opportunity to test the goalkeeper, Dinesh Mahendran. From good distance, they've got a number of players who can hit this ball very well. Indiva Udara and Roger Philippe come to mind. Samira Pereira also has got a powerful boot on him. And the shot coming in. Here's an opportunity, and that's the second goal for Saunders SC. And just like the first half, we start things off with a plum. And the only name I didn't say from the list of players standing there for the free kick was Abdul Aziz, and that himself is the man who finds the back of the net and gives Dinesh Mahendran no chance. Beautifully placed and fantastically well taken. That's your formal confirmation of goal scorers. And once again, second minute, goal comes in. Sri Lanka Police now with a bite at the cherry. This game turned on its head in the 46th minute. When that free kick was won, you did think maybe Saunders do have the players to take advantage of this. Nothing Dinesh Mahendran could do about that goal. Saunders now, new lease of life within them. Clovis Frank takes a knock, goes down. Referee says nothing doing. Samira Pereira dispossesses Shashank Prabuddha. Indiva Udara spreads it out wide, and now Batam Gimana, Roger Philippe, Malinga Hettiarach taking no chances, and Dinesh Mahendran gets rid of it. So the momentum in the second half so far very much with Sri Lanka Police. Abdul Aziz now, after scoring that beautiful free kick. Nalim down the flank. Indiva Udara very busy at the moment. Sudarshana, second minute goal in both these halves. We were talking just at the start of this second half coverage about, and the ball coming in here once again. Clovis Frank tries to take it, ball taken away from his feet by Malinga Hettiarachi. Still in it, still playing, still looking for a pass. And now Sri Lanka Police going up the other end of the pitch. Step over, gets past his man, Sri Lanka Police. Very nearly. What I was saying, Sudarshana, was that this game is showing absolute signs of an end-to-end topsy-turvy belter. And that's evidenced by the scoreline.
Well, 50 minutes on this game, I'm going to make early prediction. This is definitely going to be the game of the week. 2 more games to go as well, Deshan, but this has delivered some very exciting stuff. Both the teams really ramping up their efforts. Police have to make sure that they claw their way back up. It's always difficult, isn't it, when you've been calling all the shots in the opening exchanges and suddenly 2 minutes into the second half you're 2-1 down.
Smart there by Malinga Hettiarachi. Wins that free kick, but Saunders win it straight back. Nalim looking for that pass. He finds his teammate Abdul Aziz in the middle. Abdul Aziz, beautiful pass. Just a bit too much on it, and I think potentially Pathum Gimhan should have done a little bit better there as well, Sudarshana. Sri Lanka Police immediately seeing the need for change, and I think a very rational substitution on the part of Mahinda Galagedra, taking Shashan Prabuddha off and bringing on in his place Tamil Selvam. The only downside being that Tamil Selvam is more of a defensive player, usually slotting into the back four. Shashan Prabuddha more of a midfielder, keeping things clocking, keeping the engine well oiled rather than Shashan Prabuddha on that yellow card posed a risk, but Saunders continue to pose more. Roger Philippe snapshot doesn't really catch it well enough. Sri Lanka Police 5 minutes, 6 minutes into the second half, yet to really find their footing.
You can see how much that goal has unsettled them. Police still trying to find their footing in this game, in this second half really. Saunders on the other hand, all credit to them. After they pulled one back, they've never looked back. Here's an opportunity. Frank. Good defensive work by Sardine. Won back by Saunders.
Ball almost perpetually in the police half so far. Dinesh Mahendran clears the ball away immediately. Won back by Saunders in that second phase of play. Indiva Udara, he's been fantastic in the middle of the park this half so far. The first half in particular as well, rather. He's having one of those games where he's able to just buzz around and control the tempo of this game. And cheap concession there to Nishanta, who takes a speculative effort. Never going to test the keeper, but Saunders, they need to stop giving the ball away in areas like that and really making it unnecessarily difficult for themselves.
Chalaka Nishanta has been a thorn in the defense of Saunders, getting himself into dangerous positions.
Now Sri Lanka Police pick the ball up in a dangerous area. 3 on 3 here. Sri Lanka Police, fantastic opportunity. Maybe too heavy, but no. Man taken down. Referee says nothing doing. Immediately points for a goal kick. But for a second there, just for a second, I think Chalaka Nishanta, who made a beautiful pass, thought that a penalty was on the cards.
3 men down. The goalie, Nishanta, and also Nalim. Again, a good run from Nishanta and a very good intervention
From Nalim as well, isn't it?
from Nalim. Yes, had to make that run.
Just puts Nishanta off his stride a little bit, and I think if Nalim hadn't made that intervention, potentially I think there was an opportunity where maybe, just maybe, Chalaka Nishanta could have had a clean shot on goal.
Yeah, the goalie had come out of his box as well. Some of the fans. Yes, get the wave out. Don't be shy. Yes, there you go. Enjoying their Friday night on the lights here at the Racecourse. Some of the security personnel as well enjoying the game. Nice to see. From across the park here at Racecourse.
I think absolutely essential. I think particularly given the state of Sri Lanka's national team at the moment, so important to encourage the local club scene. And one way that you can do that, if you aren't really quite as good with your feet, is to show up for these games, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Some of these teams with their fan bases and interesting. Some days you do have more spectators, Deshan, for English Premier League game than one of these club games, where we'd like to have some more fans coming out in their livery.
Absolutely, and I think, like you said, I wouldn't say every English Premier League game. I think maybe Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and maybe Man City, you'll have more fans than one of these games. Sudarshana, your favorite side, not too much interest in this part of the world.
Oh well. Well, the very loyal Scouse friends will definitely disagree. But yeah, like we...
Your football team, the second best thing about Liverpool? First being the Beatles, of course.
The Beatles, yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that, being a massive Beatles fans myself. So there is, I'll call that a equal one.
And here in Colombo, far better city in my opinion. Sri Lanka Police pushing forward to try and find an equalizer in this game.
The desperate stuff from police now, because they haven't been able to swing those plays that they did early in this game to try and keep pressure on Saunders. They've given them space. And if you give space to the Saunders outfit, who have really dominated in their ranks, it's always going to be a difficult one. Well, if you're a Sri Lanka cricket fan watching this game, you made the correct decision. You're watching the better game. Sri Lanka have faced another collapse after a very good start in Palekale. A shortened game by rain, just 17 overs each side. Another booking. This time it's Tayabar and Selvaraj. Who's the guilty party? Goes into referee's books for his troubles. The fourth booking for Sri Lanka Police.
The game slowly but surely slowing down a little bit, and this is exactly what Saunders would want, for the intensity to drop. And now an opportunity for another bite of the cherry. Pops up a little bit too much for him, but Roger Philippe.
It was on. He knows it. Philip. On the volley. Just a little too much on that. End-to-end affair, and it's slowing down, and got to really commend Sri Lanka football, Teshan, for this, especially for these evening games.
Absolutely, on a visibility level as well. Accessibility for many fans who are working, full-time employees. It's so important. And
this is the only time you're going to be able to try and bring in your family, get them started young, they say, try and get them fall in love with this beautiful sport.
Absolutely, and I think, obviously, I suppose I am a bit biased, but I think particularly if you look at the school's football arena, I think traditionally over the last 20-30 years, here Saunders winning a corner, but over the last 20-30 years, unfortunately, this part of the world, football considered the poor man's game, but particularly among urban schools, among leading schools, even in the satellite cities in the country, the sport has gained substantial prominence. A lot of it to do with the popularity of the leagues overseas as well, but I mean recently what we did see is the Gateway St. Thomas's game in particular, fantastic crowd, and I think ball coming in here and a waste of a corner, but as I was saying,
yeah, you're right.
Support definitely has gone up. The interest has risen, and the money along with that has flown in to some degree as well. So all positive signs.
Yeah, 100%, and I do agree to that, attest to that as well. And I think another very important factor is that these young lads who are coming through, they're taking a bigger interest to football. Now that cricket is steadily losing interest and popularity. And another one,
I think that has a lot to do with frustration more than anything else.
But to come back to the point that you made, some of the more prominent schools getting back into football, it was nice to see Trinity College becoming the under-16 champions of Division 1 for the first time in the history of the college as well.
Just on the pitch here. India Udara going for a challenge, and for his troubles getting a yellow card. Damit Samantha caught with the studs, but as you said, absolutely correct. Sudarshana, Trinity College winning that championship, and I think over the years the base technical quality even at a junior level has certainly risen. I know the ceiling needs to move up, but the base is there, and particularly with the infusion of overseas talent in Sri Lanka, overseas based Sri Lankan players, and I think it sets an understanding for where the benchmark lies as well. And I think Claudio Kamenekt playing in Germany's second division, etc., shows a lot of these players the level they need to be at. Indiva Udara, beautiful pass to Roger Philippe, ball coming in very nearly, and that could have been the third.
Oh, how did that not go in? At the stop. Not successful. Beautifully done by Indiva Udara. Didn't have time to say, what did you do, mate? But that could have been the second. Some good goalkeeping work by Mahendra to deny that goal. Dara Despa trying to make amends for that booking.
Here's an opportunity now for Sri Lanka Police. Suddenly waking up, and they really need to. Ball comes into the box. Saunders getting men behind it. Nalim getting in the way. Joining us for a brief moment, a fantastic technical resource here for our team, Navod Vijay Vikrama. Navod, police really need to up the ante and jump into this game in the next 5 minutes if they want to try and turn it around, don't you think so?
Yes, indeed, Deshan. I think Saunders had the perfect start to the second half. And for police, I think here's Pathum Gimman going straight into traffic. It's the midfield battle that has really turned things around for Saunders. The likes of Indri Udara and Clovis Frank and Roger Philippe.
Well, Navod, when you have friends like us, you'll always get dragged into stuff that you didn't sign up for. But thank you very much, and the football-loving public, for the football-loving public of the country, not a unknown voice. Again, Ase is weaving his way.
Cheap giveaway there by police again. They need to just relax a little bit. They don't need to give the ball away and concede possession in difficult spaces. Make life any more difficult than it needs to be.
Yeah, but giving away that goal just in the second minute of the second half, they've really done a number on themselves. Saunders, though, now looks like they're very happy to sit back, Deshan. Indiva. Now Philippe puts the ball through, and good work yet again by Mahendran. Still
now.
alive for Saunders.
Indira Udara should have done better there, but Saunders, that's what they have been doing well in the second half. They've been killing the game, they've been slowing it down, and when they can, they've been hitting Sri Lanka Police on the stretch as well. Now once again Sri Lanka Police. Hussein Abdullah drifted away in this game a little bit. Once again, watching the ball be worked out. Off play, fantastic defense, but Hussein Abdullah's first half, everything was flowing through him, and suddenly Saunders have done really well in the second 45 to almost neutralize his impact in the game.
Yeah, hasn't had the delivery that he did have in the service that he did have in the first half, Abdullah. And Saunders have done that tactical change to try and isolate him upright. Police need to try and find a way through and try and play football in the opposition half, high up on the pitch. Good intervention by the skipper yet again. Here's Philip. Now Saunders with their tails up. That time though didn't get the pass correct.
So 20 minutes left in this game, and potentially the first result of this second round. Saunders picking up where they left off so far. Yellow card about to be brandished to Damit Samantha for that challenge. We'll try and get you a replay of that just to see the scale of the damage, but Damit Samantha, of course, instigating that yellow card earlier for Saunders, and now gets one for himself, and very nearly catching Roger Philippe out as well. It's coming in a fraction of a second too late, but I think very nearly almost drifting into the back of the net, that one, but watched all the way by the goalkeeper. But what I was about to say, Sudarshana, is I was contemplating whether I should remark that the referee is trying to get a hold of the game and being very strict, but at the same time, questionable decision by Rubesh when he decided not to give red cards for what were two blatant red card offences.
Yeah, one after the other. And Samantha would argue till the cows come home that it wasn't yellow if the early two wasn't reds. But Saunders now comfortable to play high up on the pitch.
Yeah, this is where Saunders can be so good, and this is where they've always been so good, regardless of the iteration of the team, where they've got a lead, they have the ball, they are composed and able to pass it around the middle of the park, move the ball, have a man challenge a man on the flank, play those 1-2s, quick turns, and that's what you can see here. Clovis Frank manages to win the ball somehow, and last ditch defense on the part of Selvaraj, giving the ball away. And once again Saunders now. Pathum Gimhane almost gets past the defender, but the ball going out for a corner. Like I said, Saunders in their zone right now and making a substitution, bringing on this occasion Mohammad Zaid in place of Priyadarshana. So Mohammad Zaid has close to 20 minutes to prove his worth today, and you can be rest assured that Priyadarshana will take every last second he can coming off the pitch as well.
Yeah, Priyadarshana on a yellow as well. Coach taking the precaution, and the young Zaid will be eager to try and get himself in this game. Immediately gets his first touch through a corner.
So let's see how much luck Zaid brings. And now Saunders continue to pile on the pressure. Samira Pereira intercepting. Saunders bringing it down. And Police, suddenly the structure of the team's all gone. I suppose that's for Jacob Atkinson on the Saunders bench. He's got some fans in the stands. But unfortunately he is two for the moment, and hopefully he gets a run out in a bit. Referee bringing play back off your screens. It's looking, and there you are. Like a bit of a knock for Vimukti Madhuanta. Just went down unchallenged, and this is not good news, Sudarshana, for Saunders. They've already got one keeper injured, and now potentially could lose another. It looks like it's the hamstrings that are being treated at the moment. Never easy, those ones, and I think very recent high profile example of a man unchallenged hitting the deck with a hamstring injury, Patrick Dorgu, at that Man United versus Arsenal game, and 24 hours later ruled out for 10 weeks. So you never know the scale of these injuries, do you?
Yeah, never a nice place to have injuries in it. You can't try and do the basic movements that's required in a day with your hamstring bothering you. But like the warrior he is, Vimukti Madhuanta is okay to continue. It's heavily strapped as well, just about above his knee on the cord.
Nalim coming in with a throw in, gets it long, sends it into the box. Nalim with a second bite at the cherry, doesn't really work too well. The ball worked its way out, and Nalim once again with a throw in. Saunders will like this. They'll be very happy to take throw in after throw in. Kill away 10-15 seconds each time, you know what I mean? And really, you know, as they say, the game gets, ball comes in here. Good cross by Nalim. Very nearly finding Roger Philippe, but as I was saying, Sudarshan, a game does get a lot longer when you're leading and a lot shorter when you're chasing, isn't it?
Yeah, for police, they'll want the game to be alive, but it's Saunders who are pulling all the strings here.
Guy and Rivaldo there. Not very happy that the referee brought that one back, but I think rightfully so. Gets a bit of a knock, Roger Philippe, as a result of that little incursion by Nabil Sardin. He's been rather silent once again. Case of the commentator's curse potentially. Saunders now with a shot. Very nearly. Very, very nearly. Izad Mufazal takes a touch, brings it down, composed, just catches it a bit too well almost.
Yeah, was going for that far post. Police have struggled to try and exit their own half. A shot from distance. Not troubling Mahendra at that time.
Yeah, Roger Philippe has had such a fantastic game. And when you have games like this, you do think everything's going to go in your favor. So why not?
And also coming back to what you mentioned earlier as well, might as well just suck in the couple of seconds.
So a couple of substitutions left for both teams, and I think based on what we've seen so far, Sri Lanka Police definitely need an infusion of fresh blood potentially. Maybe someone to just add a bit of dynamism in the middle of the park as well, Sudarshana, just to get things going. Saunders will be happy with how things have manifested on their end. And they'll be very happy watching these balls phase out of play, these clearances hitting the deck. Like I said, killing an extra 15-20 seconds each time. Those really do add up. And just like that, we're in the 79th minute. And once you see that big number 8 in the front of the clock, you do start rushing your decisions a little bit. You do start panicking. Potentially even expecting the worst at times. And Sri Lanka Police wins the ball back, gives it away cheaply once again. It's really been one of these afternoons for them in the second half. Pathum Gimhana dropping all the way back, trying to be cheeky. Samira Pereira taking a bit of a risky play, getting rid of it. Beautiful work by Roger Philippe. Tries to find his teammate, but intercepted by Dabar and Selvaraj. And Selvaraj's pass now being fed through Gan Rivaldo. Ball coming in, Hussein Abdullah. Very nearly finding Nishanta, but nothing doing. And now Saunders down the other end. Here's an opportunity. Clovis Frank on the left side. Clovis Frank! That's 3!
Oh, what about that goal? Clovis Frank getting one for himself, 81st minute, and they have really put this game to bed with that effort. Very well deserved goal for the man in the number 33 shirt. Absolutely terrific stuff. Saunders have been knocking on the door continuously, and Frank gets in what would most probably be the final nail in the coffin of the police team. 9 minutes to go in regular time. Clovis Frank, the man.
And just like that, we're talking about transitions and how Saunders will be happy to let police come forward, try their luck, and just like that, hitting them on the counter. Now police, 2 goals to come back from. Maybe an opportunity now. And we would have had a fantastic last 10 minutes if Charlaka Nishanta decided to bury that opportunity, and he should have.
He should have. Absolutely should have. Nishanta has done a lot of running, but the tired legs now. Frank with an opportunity to add insult to injury, but timely intervention from the defender. There'll be a corner for Saunders. He'll be happy to try and roll the dice, but here's an opportunity. Needed to get his foot. Needed to get his foot on the ball, Nishanta. 3-1 Saunders. Clawed their way back into the game in the 37th minute with a goal, with the equalizer. Just got his foot on that ball, Hussein Abdullah. Mufassal. That's another foul. Endeavour. The skipper will be taking on this free kick. Can they make it 4-1, Saunders? Endeavour.
Fazal gets past one man, gets past another. An opportunity now for Sri Lanka Police to try and turn the ball over. Got rid of Samira Pereira takes it beautifully on his chest, works it away. Somehow manages to give the ball away, but Gan Rivaldo picks it up now. Just a bit too much on it. Saunders, I think, Sudarshana, to say the least, deserve this result, don't they? Based on how they've played today.
No, 100%. Since that 37th minute when they got the equalizer, they've been the team who've been dictating terms. Police, like you mentioned, have faded away, and here's an opportunity. Felipe denied. Opportunity. Oh. Should have been scored by Pathum Gimhan.
Just getting under it, Pathum Gimhan. He should have used power. Goalkeeper hitting the deck. And just there. Instead, trying to be cheeky as well. Sri Lanka Police living dangerously. Hussein Abdullah now. Can they make it 3-2? Hussein Abdullah just doesn't catch it. It opened up for him beautifully had he got the right connection.
Yeah, Abdullah has been one of those players who've done well for Police alongside Chalak and Shanta, but have been under pressure. Clovis Frank needing some attention. Seems to have copped a blow to the head. And Deshaun, we were talking about the legacy that Saunders have, being a pre-independence club, really. One of the 4 legacy clubs, as we have 2 substitutions. Tanujan coming in for Tamil Selvam. And also Hasaranga Priyantha coming on as well for Police.
Yeah, Damit Samantha on a yellow card taken off. And Hasaranga Priyanath coming on in his place, but ball coming in. Pathum Gimhan. Roger Philippe really nearly getting it on target, but something that has become commonplace in this tournament, isn't it? To see substitutes being substituted. Tamil Selvan coming off for Tanujan there. So also coming on midway through the game, Tamil Selvan. So and once again, cheaply taken throw in. Absolutely careless from Sri Lanka Police, and this has been their story.
Coming back to the point that I was trying to make, Deshan, the 4 clubs, 4 legacy clubs, if you may, Saunders, Chawalain, both in this competition. The other 2, Kolpiti United and Oljurs, though, are languishing in the bottom layers. Oh! Yet again denied by Mahendran. Sri Lanka Police now steadily crumbling. The Saunders see through.
Pathum Gimhan, he's had a good game today. One may say should have been a bit more critical sometimes, but coming on in the number 14 shirt for Saunders, Mohamed Shahid. 2-3 minute run out for him. Pathum Gimhan will feel that he's done his job today. He's been tireless in front.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. Just for the only lack of concentration and that frustration that he showcased, which could have really hurt his team. Apart from that, he's been wonderful. Oh, comes into the field and he goes. Mohammad Shahid. First touch and gets a goal.
What a way to announce yourself on the pitch.
A super sub, if you may. You said 2 minutes. He just needed 2 seconds.
That's called taking your chances with both hands there, Sudarshana. Mohammad Shahid adding insult to injury and turning this into a rout. Beautiful. Roger Philippe, once again the creator-in-chief, finds Mohammad Shahid. Acres of space. Dabaran Selvaraj nowhere near his man. And also, while Dabaran Selvaraj pushes in from that left-back position, in an ideal world, Danujan should be supporting and getting close, but Shahid with acres of space, he was never going to miss.
If we can take a look at the early angle, I think that would be wonderful for any of the younger fans of the game, how you need to work hard off the ball. He's just come onto the field. Shahid wanted to make sure that he was behind that offside line, which is why he got the opportunity to try and attack that ball and get his score. 4 minutes of added time.
Absolutely, you are right, Sudarshan, and I think the intelligence to kind of know where you stand and to know where the last defender is standing, so you have the space in mind, or the presence of mind rather, to look up and kind of be like, oh, I need to take a step back, or I need to, I can take a step forward. That awareness is so important, and Shahid just on that line, giving him his best chance in terms of taking a shot away.
And also the willingness to make sure that you try and turn up for your team, irrespective of what minute you are brought into the game. You got to be focused. You got to have that concentration.
Cheeky footwork there by Roger Philippe. The police lads having none of it. Malinga Hettiarachi, sportsmanly on the part of the police skipper, who did not appreciate himself Asanga Priyanath's rather clumsy tackle. But definitely, I think, after how that first 25-30 minutes spanned out, the police will be wondering what on earth happened to the rest of the game.
Well, I'd say the score doesn't do justice to the game we witnessed, but it is only justified when you look at the score line for the performance that Saunders have put since that half an hour mark. They've really ramped up. And they have 4 goals to show. Their faithful who've come in numbers to Racecourse are going to go back, going to make that short trip back to Papare with a lot of joy in their hearts. They will believe that their team has started off this second round. They are overjoyed. They are enjoying up there at the Racecourse. Take a look at them, all of them with happy faces on top of the grandstand. They feel like it's their home ground. The seats are yellow here at the Racecourse as well.
Good effort there by Sri Lanka police number 9 and Eduriyasa Danujan, but straight to the Saunders custodian Vimukti Madhuwanta. Roger Philippe, what a game he's had. He's been absolutely everywhere over the pitch, creating everything and anything, scoring one himself. And him and the decision to bring Clovis Frank to the attack and put Roger Philippe into that midfield pocket has worked like a charm for Saunders. Sri Lanka police now 30 seconds left in this game. One final substitution for Saunders in these dying seconds. Nipuna Chintaka coming on for Roger Philippe, who's had an amazing game. Man of the match not yet decided, but I'd be surprised if it isn't him.
Yeah, I do agree. Hands down, hands down. The only other man who'd really challenge him on that account is Clovis Frank. His brother in arms in the Saunders attack, who's really put Sri Lanka Police under a lot of pressure, creating plenty chances. Ball in the box, but cleared away by Saunders, and that's the game. 4-1. The Price Park Club has started off the Super 8s in style.
And just as we started this game, we had a goal, and we thought, come half time, that we're in for an end-to-end second half, based on what we saw in the first half, Sudarshana. But after the 45-minute mark on the half-time interval, unfortunately for Sri Lanka Police, only one team decided to show up for that second half, and that side is Saunders, who will feel that their fantastic form in the first half of this tournament is justified, and rightfully so, scoring 4 fantastic goals, with almost every player doing their part and really showing fine form today. Despite the lack of their first choice goalkeeper as well, they've done well to concede only 1 goal. And at the end of this one, the second game of the second round here at the Champions League, it's Saunders 4, Sri Lanka Police 1.
Well, might look a one-sided affair if you're just looking at the score after this game, but we've been treated to a very, very entertaining affair. Both the teams not bowing out, both the teams wanted to make a push. So take a look at the replay and the highlights. The second goal in the second minute. Plenty bookings in the game. 5 for Police, 3 for Saunders. Skipper Indiva also went into the books for his troubles. But this goal was just fabulous.
So no Sundarraj Niresh, no first choice goalkeeper Lasane. Dylan Kaushalya taking a break and hitting the bench. And with all those changes, Saunders proving just far too good today for Sri Lanka Police, and almost like we jinxed it on their behalf. Sri Lanka Police, that have had a pretty good defensive record so far in this tournament, suddenly shipping 4 goals in this game. We expect shortly to be joined by Navod Vijay from down by the touchline with some interesting interviews from both the winning side and the unfortunate losers in today's game.
Check.
While we wait, off your screens, the celebrations continuing here at the Racecourse Stadium with the Saunders. Right, and just at the moment, we're waiting for an interview. Navod Vijay down by the touchline. Over to you, Navod.
අප සමග එකතු වෙනවා අද තරගයේ වීරයා සෝන්ඩර්ස් කණ්ඩායමේ අබ්දුල් අසීස් මැචස් දෙකක් සෝන්ඩර්ස් වෙනුවෙන් ප්ලේ කරේ නැහැ. ඔයා ශ්‍රී ලංකා නැෂනල් ෆුට්සල් ටීම් එකත් එක්ක ප්ලේ කරන්න ගිහලා ඉන්නේ. අද කෙලින්ම එන්නේ ෆස්ට් 11 එකට සුපර් 8 රවුන්ඩ් එකේ ෆස්ට් මැච් එකේ. අද ඔයාගේ පර්ෆෝමන්ස් එක ගැන මොකද හිතන්නේ? ඒ වගේම තමයි වැදගත් තරගයක් සුපර් 8 එකේ ෆස්ට් මැච් එක හොඳට පටන් ගන්න ඕනේ. ඔයාගේ පර්ෆෝමන්ස් එකයි කණ්ඩායමේ පර්ෆෝමන්ස් එක ගැන.
ඔව් ඉස්ලාම thanks to Allah alhamdulillah. මම මැච් දෙකක් හිටියේ නෑ. අපේ ටීම් එක අන්බීටන් රන් එක යන්නේ. ඒ අන්බීටන් ස්ට්‍රීක් එක අපි තාම තියාගන්නවා. අපේ කට්ටිය අද පර්ෆෝමන්ස් එක කියන්න ඕන නම් හැමෝම 200% දුන්නා. මැච් එක ක්‍රස් එකට ගැව්වා. අපේ පුදුම බොන්ඩ් එකක් තියෙනවා අපේ කට්ටියගේ. අපි ජේසියට ගැව්වේ. අපේ පුළුවන් තරම් දුන්නා අපි මැච් එක දින්නා.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි අබ්දුල්. ඉදිරි තරඟ වලට සුබ පතනවා.
thank you.
තමගේ එකතු වෙනවා සෝන්ඩර්ස් කණ්ඩායමේ පුහුණුකරු ඩී ශාන්තසිරි කෝච්. සෝන්ඩර්ස් කණ්ඩායම මොමෙන්ටම් එකක් එක්ක ඉන්නේ සුපර් 8 රවුන්ඩ් එකේ. ඒ වගේම තමයි වැදගත් සුපර් 8 රවුන්ඩ් එක හොඳට පටන් ගන්න. මුලින්ම පළවෙනි විනාඩියේම ගෝලයක් ලබා දෙනවා. නමුත් තව විනාඩි 88ක් තිබ්බා ප්ලේ කරන්න. ඉතින් කොහොමද සෝන්ඩර්ස් කණ්ඩායම මේ තරගයට පිවිසියේ? ඒ වගේම පළවෙනි ගෝල් එකෙන් පස්සේ කොහොමද ප්ලේ කරපුවා?
අපි දන්නවා අපි ඉන්නේ තන කොතනද කියන එක. අපේ ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එකත් එක්කම අපි ගොඩ දුරට අපි ඇවිත් තියෙන විදිය දන්නවා. අපේ ෆස්ට් ස්කෝරින් එකේ පිළිබඳ අපිට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. අපිට ගෝල් දෙකක් ගහලා තියෙදි තමයි ඉස්සෙල්ලා මැච් එක අපි වින් කරා. එතකොට ඒ පළපුරුද්ද අපි දිගටම අරන් යනවා. ෆස්ට් ගෝල් එක ගැන නෙමෙයි අපිට ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්නේ. පාසින් ඒ ඔක්කොම අපේ ලස්සනට කරන නිසා අපිට කිසි බයක් නැහැ මේ ටූර්නමන්ට් එක අපි යන ඉස්සරහට ගිහින්.
ඒ වගේම තමයි දැකපු දෙයක් තමයි අර ඉස්සර සෝන්ඩර්ස් ගහපු විදිහට වන් ටච් ෆුට්බෝල් හරිම ලස්සනට ෆුට්බෝල්. අද මම හිතන්නේ මැචස් 6කට පස්සේ දැකපු හොඳම පර්ෆෝමන්ස් එක කියන්න පුළුවන් පාසින් වලින්. හොඳට ඒ කෙමිස්ට්‍රි එක තිබ්බයි ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා අතර, ෆොරින් ප්ලේයර්ස්ලායි ලෝකල් ප්ලේයර්ස්ලායි. ඔබ ඒක දුටුවද? තව මොනවාද ඉම්ප්‍රූව් වෙන්න තියෙන්නේ ඉදිරි තරඟ වලට යද්දි?
ඇත්තටම අපේ පාසින් ගේම් එකේ අපේ ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එකේ පටන් ගන්නෙම වන් ටච් ගේම්. ඊට පස්සේ විනාඩි 15කට ඉස්සෙල්ලා 2 ටච්. ඊට පස්සේ 3 ටච් ඩ්‍රිබ්ලින් කියන එක උපරිම යම් කිසි ප්‍රමාණයකට ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා දෙතුන් දෙනාට විතරයි ලව් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. අනික අය ඔක්කොම 1 ටච් 2 ටච් 3 ටච් වලින් බෝලේ පාස් කරනවා. එතකොට අපි ටීම් එක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ටයර්ඩ් වෙනවා. මම හිතුවට වැඩිය පොලිස් ටීම් එක අපිට ලොකු අභියෝගයක් වුණා. මම බලාපොරොත්තු වුණාට වැඩිය. නමුත් අවසාන මොහොතේ මම දන්නවා කොහොම හරි මේ ජයග්‍රහණය මේ තරමට එනවා කියන එක. ඒකයි.
ගෝමිස් කෝච් ඉදිරි තරඟ වල සුබ පතනවා. අප සමග එකතු වෙනවා පොලිස් කණ්ඩායමේ ප්‍රධාන පුහුණුකරු මහින්ද ගලගෙදර. මහින්ද පොලිස් සුපර් 8 රවුන්ඩ් එකට එන්නේ හොඳ මොමන්ටම් එකක් එක්ක පළවෙනි ගෝල් එකත් ලබා ගන්නා දෙවෙනි විනාඩියේදී. එතනින් පස්සේ පොලිස් කණ්ඩායමේ පර්ෆෝමන්ස් ගැන මොකද හිතන්නේ මොනවාද තරඟයේදී වැරදුනේ?
පළමුවෙන්ම කියන්න ඕනේ සෝන්ඩර්ස් කණ්ඩායමට මම සුබ පතනවා. විදේශ ක්‍රීඩකින් සමග ක්‍රීඩා කරන සෝන්ඩර්ස් කණ්ඩායම දක්ෂ කණ්ඩායමක්. ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලෝ අද හොඳට සෙල්ලම් කළා. ඒ ගැන මම විශේෂයෙන්ම තරඟයේ ජයග්‍රහණ වෙනුවෙන් මම උන්ට සුබ පතනවා. ඉතින් මුලින්ම කියන්න ඕනේ අපි අද තරඟයේදී අපිට මුලින්ම අපි හිතුවා වගේම විනාඩි 10 තුලත් අපිට ෆස්ට් ගෝල් එක ලැබුණා. ඒකම අපිට අපේ ඉදිරිපෙළ ක්‍රීඩකයින්ගෙන් දිගින් දිගටම ගෝල් ලකුණු ලබා ගැනීම අපිට මිස් වුණා. මම හිතන්නේ ඒක තමයි අපිට ලොකුවටම බලපෑවේ. ඒ වගේම අපේ සෙකන්ඩ් හාෆ් එකේ අන්තිම විනාඩි 10 දී බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් අපිට ලොකුම chances ටිකක් මිස් වුණා. ඒ නිසා මම හිතනවා අද තරඟයේ අපිට අද අපේ දවස නෙමෙයි ඕනි දවසක ඔෆ් ඩේ එකක් තියෙනවා ටීම් එකේ. මම හිතනවා අද ඒ ඩේ එක වෙන්න ඇති. මොකද දිගින් දිගටම ගෝල් chances මිස් වෙච්ච එකම අපිට ලොකුවට බලපෑවා අපේ අද තරඟයේ රිසල්ට් එකට.
ඒ වගේම තමයි මිඩ්ෆීල්ඩ් එකේ මම හිතනවා සෝන්ඩර්ස් කණ්ඩායමත් එක්ක ඒ බැටල් එකේ එතන පොඩි තරංගවලදී දුර්වලකම් වගේ තිබුණා සෝන්ඩර්ස් කණ්ඩායමත් එක්ක. නමුත් ඉදිරි තරඟ වලට යද්දි මොන වගේ දේවල්ද බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන? තවත් තරඟ 5ක් තියෙනවා 7ක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් කොහමද ඉදිරි තරඟ වලට බලාපොරොත්තු?
ඔව් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා අපේ මේ තරඟෙදී වෙච්ච වැරදි නිවැරදි කරගෙන අපේ ඉදිරි තරඟවලදී අපිට ලැබෙන ප්‍රතිවාදී කණ්ඩායම්ගේ දක්ෂතාවයන් සහ හොඳින් හඳුනගෙන ඒ ඉදිරි තරඟ වලට අපි මුහුණ දෙන්න සිදු වෙනාම එකතු වෙලා අපි උත්සාහ කරමු.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි කෝච්. ඉදිරි තරඟ වලට සුබ පතනවා.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
Well, that was the very happy Saunders camp, followed by a not so happy Mahinda Galagedara. And with that, today's results: Pelicans SC and Java Lane drawing the first game 1-1. Saunders SC thumping Sri Lanka Police 4-1 in the second game. Not to forget, got 2 more games tomorrow. Serendipity and St. Mary's taking each other on in the early kickoff at 4 p.m, followed by New Star and Solid, who will play it out at 8 p.m in the late kickoff.